Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Everything About Coding. Now in today's video what we are going to learn is how we can connect Python to OpenAI. Okay, so you might be using ChatGPT. So while using the ChatGPT, how do we use it? We normally give a prompt and then we get a response. But now what we are going to do is we are going to use the OpenAI API, that is application program interface. Using this API we can basically connect to the ChatGPT, and then through Python we can give a prompt. We can send a prompt to the ChatGPT and the ChatGPT will send back the response, and this will happen through the Python program. So how exactly to do it, how to connect, and how to create an API, everything I'm going to show you in this video, so stay tuned. So before we start coding in Python, what we need to do is we need to go to the platform of OpenAI. So here I am on the platform of OpenAI, and to come down to this particular screen you need to visit the URL, that is platform.openai.com. It is there in front of the screen. So please visit this particular URL and you will come down to this particular screen. In case if you do not have an account, so please create an account using the Google credentials, and then you will see something like this. Okay, now the first thing that we need to click is the docs. Click on docs, and then we will come down to the pricing option over here at the left hand side, and you can see these are all the models of OpenAI. Okay, this is the latest model, that is GPT 4.1, which is the smartest model. And there is something like the features it is showing is input, cached input, and the output. I'm going to explain you this what exactly it is, and then we can create an API and start using it. Okay, now input is basically the prompts that we normally give to the ChatGPT. Okay, so the prompts that we are going to give, it is going to cost us for per million. Please understand this, per million. For 1 million tokens it will be only $2. Okay, 1 million. So basically you can say that one token is equal to one word, but it is not exactly one token is not exactly one word. It is around 1.3, so slightly more than one word, you can say that. Okay, but still if you see 1 million tokens, if you convert that into lakhs, it is around 10 lakhs tokens. So you can generate around 10 lakh words of content for $2. And the cached input is basically it is going to cost 2.5. So if it is already there in the memory, if you ask the same prompt again and the answer is already there, it is already there in the memory, it will use the same answer. So it will cost only 0.5 because it is already stored, right? And the output, this is where the chat GPT gives us response. So it will cost you around $8. So 8 plus 2 is total, it will be around $10. It will cost you around 800 to 900 rupees for, you can save a lot of content. This is per million. For $2 for 1 million prompts and $8 for 1 million prompts. So you can calculate that. It is very, very reasonable. But in case if you do not want the smartest model, we have other models as well, like the 4.1 mini. So it is going to cost only 0.4 for 1 million tokens and 1.6 for the output, right? So very reasonable. The cheapest that we have is GPT 4.1 Nano, and you can see it is only 0.1 and 0.4 for the output. Okay, so we can use this model. In fact, I'm going to use this model, into the Python program. Okay, so this is about the pricing. So what we need to do is there is a settings over here, the icon, click on settings, and few other things I'm going to tell you. If you go to the API key, okay, over here there is a button create new secret key. You click onto this and this will basically generate a new API key. It will only ask you to give some name to the API key and then it will generate. This API key will be, you can view that only once and you can copy it only once. Okay. So once it generates the API key, copy it and paste it or store it in some safe place. Okay. Because after that, you won't be able to see the API key. Okay. And then what we have is the billing part, because to use it you need to have some balance. Okay, so that is the credit remaining. Right now it is showing 0. I have another account over there where I have actually uh, you know added some around $10. So what you can do, you can add the payment details, add around $5 to $10. It will be around 800 or 900 rupees, and then you can start using it. It will go for a very long time because you can generate a lot of content with that money. Okay, so around five you can even have around $5, so it will be around 400 rupees, and then you can start using it. Okay, so this is all about how to set up the things. This is about the OpenAI platform. How to generate keys, I told you. Billing part, I have told you, right? And the pricing part, I have already explained the whole thing to you. What exactly is input, cached input, and the output. Okay, now that we have understood about the platform and we have learned how to create the API, so please go ahead and generate the API key, and that is a secret key. That key is not to be shown to anyone. Okay, so you need to keep it at a secret place, store it at a secret place. Remember that. Okay, and now what we will do is we will switch to Python, and then we will start. Uh, we will basically write a very simple program where we will just give a prompt through the program. Okay, and what is going to happen? We will get a response from the ChatGPT. Okay, and the API, that is application program interface, what is the main purpose of it? It is kind of, it helps us to communicate between two applications. So our Python program is going to interact with the Chat GPT using that API. Okay, so now let us go to the PyCharm and let us start coding. So here we are inside the PyCharm, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to install the package, that is pip install OpenAI. Okay, OpenAI, that is the package that we need to install. And after we install this package, we can start coding. So we have the API. I will assume that you have generated the API key and you have installed the OpenAI, and it is in front of the screen as well. This is the package that we need to install. After we do that, we are absolutely ready to code. So the first line of code that we need to do is we need to include is the package. So from OpenAI, I'm going to import, that is OpenAI. Okay, this is the first line of code that we will be having. So from OpenAI, import OpenAI, that is O is capital, A is capital. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to type a function, that is, and let me just give this name, that is my get my key. Okay, and I'm going to return that key. Which key? That is the API key. Right, now I'm going to paste that key over here, and the reason I wrote this function is I'm just going to tell you, but that API key I need to paste it over here between the double quotes. Okay, so let me just pause this. I will just paste that and then I will show it to you. Okay, so here it is. This is the function, that is get my key. That is the function that I wrote, and this is basically going to return. What I've done is I've just I've used that keyword return, and the double quotes, I have pasted that key. Now since that key is a secret key, I cannot show that key, right? But it is simply going to return that key. Then what I'm going to do is in capital, I will simply type OpenAI, okay, OpenAI, then API underscore key, okay, and then I will give a call to this function that is get my key. So what is going to happen? It is simply going to return that key that I pasted, return, and within the double quotes, whatever it was, it is going to return and it is going to assign to this. Now, since I'm using this key, I do not want to show this key. I have, use this function. What you can do is you can straight away use this variable and then straight away use that double quotes and then you can type your API key over here, API key, right? So you will simply use that OpenAI, whatever variable you want, OpenAI underscore API underscore key, and then just paste it. And after this, everything will be same. Okay. But I've hidden my API key under this function. Okay. So this is what I wanted to tell you. So right now I need to give a call to this function to get access to that API. Okay. So I'll remove these codes. And then the next line of code that we will be having is we need to create the client object. And how to do that is I'm going to say client is equal to, and then I will use this module, that is OpenAI module that we have just imported, and then the opening and closing bracket, and then it has a keyword parameter that is API underscore key equal to. So this is a keyword parameter, and then we need to pass this OpenAI key to this keyword parameter. Okay, like this. So this is where we have created the client object. So the first step is we need to create the client object, and then very easy, that is we are going to create a response, and I'm going to say the object that we created, that is client dot, that is we are going to use the chat GPT, right? So I'm going to say chat dot completions dot create. Okay, so there are many methods over here, client dot chat dot completions dot create, and this is where we are going to give the prompt. Okay, so the first thing that we need to give over here, okay, we basically need to pass the arguments, and the first argument that we need to pass is the model. Okay, even this is a keyword argument, and I'm going to pass the model. So which model we are going to use? As I've shown you, the cheapest model that we have is GPT hyphen 4.1 hyphen nano. Okay, this is the cheapest model that we have, so that model I'm going to use. And then next is we need to have the messages. I'm just going to tell you what exactly this is, equal to, then the it is going to have the value that is going to be a list. Okay, it is going to be a list, and inside that list, okay, we will be having a dictionary. Please understand that. And that dictionary will be, that is first is the key, and the role is basically user. This has to be as it is. Okay, and the next is the content, and that is the prompt basically. And what will be the value? The value will be whatever prompt you want to give. So basically I will type something, what is Python programming language, something like this. Okay, just a question, right? This is the prompt that I'm going to give, and then we will get a response, and that is what we need to do. So basically what is going to happen over here, this is a prompt that is going to go to the chat GPT, and then we will also get a response from the chat GPT. And then what we need to do, we need to get access to the content. What was the response? That content we need. How to get that content is, okay, this is the variable that is response. Everything comes under this object. So we will say response and then dot choices. Okay, this has to be as it is. Give it a 0 because we just need, there are many basically, but we only need the response. What was the response from the chat GPT, right? And then I'm going to say message dot, and that is content. Okay, this is how it should be. And then I need to simply print the content like this. Okay, and that's it. We have just, what we have done is we have connected to the OpenAI using the API key, and then we have also sent the response, I mean the prompt, and we also got the response. We will be getting the response after we run this program. Everything looks fine to me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the program and let us see what happens. Okay, so if I run this program, we will see the output. Okay, here it is. See, it has given us the response that Python is a high-level interpreted programming language known for its simplicity and readability. Right, developed by the, okay, by the developer, and all that content is in front of you. Okay, so this is how we can basically use the API service, and we can build our applications. Now that we have connected, now we have the entire world of imagination for us. What kind of applications you want to build? Maybe you want to build some education related application where the students can generate MCQs, where the students can do a lot of things, right? Even for the teachers, we can develop a lot of you know a lot of things can be developed for the teachers also. And not just education field, any field you can develop an application that basically solves a problem, right? And then about the API charges, okay, it's very reasonable to us, but then we can also sell our credit pack. Just like the OpenAI is charging us some money, we can top on that, we can charge some money from the users. This is how the entire model basically works. Okay, so I hope you have got some content in today's video, and if you really want feel like appreciating, you can give a like to my video and share, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.